a letter arrived. Final payment due for your October 14th wedding, $8,500. Noah and I had been dating 10 months. We'd never discussed marriage. I called the venue. Oh yes, Mrs. Reeves booked everything 6 months ago. Noah's mother had planned an entire wedding without asking us. When I confronted Noah, he said, "Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this story, because what happens next will leave you absolutely stunned." I was going to tell you. Noah stood in my living room, hands in his pockets, looking everywhere except at me. I just didn't know how. I stared at him, the invoice still clutched in my hand. $8,500 due for a wedding I knew nothing about. Your mother booked a venue, apparently 6 months ago, which means she started planning our wedding 4 months into us dating. And you were going to tell me. When? At the altar? Kennedy, it's not like that. Then what is it like? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like your mother planned an entire wedding without consulting the bride, and you, my boyfriend of 10 months, knew about it and said nothing. I didn't know about all of it. How much did you know? He shifted uncomfortably. Mom mentioned she'd looked at some venues. She was excited. She really likes you. Looking at venues is not the same as booking one. Taking deposits is not the same as browsing websites. This invoice says final payment, Noah. Final, which means there have been other payments. How much has she spent? I don't know exactly. Guess. Maybe 30,000? I actually laughed. A sharp, disbelieving sound that made him flinch. $30,000. On a wedding. For 2 people who aren't engaged. Did I miss something? Did you propose and I somehow forgot? No, but what? But we've been talking about the future. About moving in together. About maybe someday potentially taking the next step. Not about getting married in 6 weeks. I looked at the invoice again. October 14th. Today was September 1st, 43 days away. My hands started shaking. What else has she planned? I asked quietly. Because if there's a venue, there's probably more. Noah's silence told me everything. Tell me. There's a caterer. And a photographer. She hired a wedding planner. She hired a wedding planner for a wedding that doesn't exist? And she's looked at dresses. She wanted to take you shopping next week. As a surprise. A surprise. She was going to surprise me with my own wedding dress. I sat down on my couch before my legs gave out. Noah, this is insane. You understand that, right? This is completely, absolutely insane. My mom can be enthusiastic. This isn't enthusiasm. This is delusion. This is, I struggled to find words. This is her planning my life without my consent. And you let her. I didn't let her. I didn't know how to stop her. How about no, Mom, we're not engaged? How about Kennedy and I will plan our own wedding when we're ready? How about literally any sentence that includes the word boundary? You don't understand what she's like. Then help me understand. Because right now, I'm looking at a $30,000 wedding planned by my boyfriend's mother for a marriage that hasn't been proposed, and I'm trying to figure out how I got here. Noah sat down next to me, finally meeting my eyes. My mom has had my wedding planned since I was 16. She has binders, spreadsheets. She knows exactly what flowers she wants, what food, what music. When I started dating you, she said you were perfect, that you were the one, and she just started planning. And you didn't think to mention this? I thought she was just being excited. I didn't think she'd actually book anything without telling us. But then she put down a deposit, and I thought, well, we can just change the date. And then she hired a planner, and I thought. You thought what? That I'd just go along with it? I thought maybe it would be fine. Maybe we'd get engaged soon anyway, and then your mom's psychotic wedding planning would just be helping. I stood up. Noah, do you even want to marry me? Or is this all your mother's idea? Of course I want to marry you. Do you? Because nothing about this says you've thought about marrying me. Nothing about this says you've considered what I want or how I feel, or whether I'm ready. This all says your mother decided we're getting married and you just went along with it. That's not fair. What's not fair is finding out about my own wedding from an invoice. I grabbed my phone and pulled up the number for Riverside Estate, the venue mentioned in the letter. I called on speaker. Riverside Estate, this is Jennifer. Hi Jennifer, this is Kennedy Torres. I just received an invoice for an October 14th wedding. Oh yes, the Reeves-Torres wedding. Congratulations. Are you calling about the final payment? Actually, I'm calling to cancel. Silence. Then cancel? Ms. Torres, your wedding is in 6 weeks. I'm aware. I'd like to cancel the booking. Our cancellation policy is very clear. With less than 8 weeks' notice, you forfeit all deposits and payments already made. That's $21,500. Noah's face went white. And if I don't make the final payment, then the booking is automatically canceled, but you still lose the $21,500 already paid. Perfect. Cancel it. Kennedy. Noah grabbed for my phone, but I moved away. Ms. Torres, I need to confirm. You want to cancel your wedding? I want to cancel a booking made without my knowledge or consent. Yes. I see. I'll process that today. I'm very sorry. Don't be. Thank you for your help. I hung up. Noah looked like he might be sick. Kennedy, that's $20,000. That your mother spent without asking. Not my problem. She's going to be devastated. Good. Maybe she'll think twice before planning someone else's life. This isn't just about the money. There are vendors, people she's hired, family she's invited. I froze. She invited people? To a wedding. Of course she. Who? Who did she invite to a wedding I didn't know about? Family. Friends. Some of my co-workers. How many people? About 150? I actually saw stars. 150 people have invitations to a wedding I never agreed to? She was going to give them to us next week to send out. Stop. Just stop talking. I pressed my hands to my temples. I need you to leave. Kennedy. Noah, I need you to leave right now before I say something I can't take back. Can we please just talk about this? We'll talk after I've calmed down. After I've processed that your mother planned an entire wedding, invited 150 people, and you knew and said nothing. After I figure out if I even want to be with someone who lets his mother control his life like this. But right now? Leave. He stood there for a moment, looking lost. Then he grabbed his jacket and walked out. I sat in my apartment, staring at that invoice, and tried to figure out how I'd ended up here. The next morning, Noah's mother called. I considered not answering, but decided I needed to hear this. Kennedy, I heard about a misunderstanding with the venue. It's not a misunderstanding, Mrs. Reeves. You planned a wedding without telling us. I canceled it. But sweetheart, I was trying to help. Wedding planning is so stressful, and I have experience. You planned a wedding for 2 people who aren't engaged. That's not helping. That's controlling. I just knew you 2 were meant to be together. That's not your decision to make. But I've already paid for so much. Again, not my problem. You made financial decisions without consulting the people actually getting married. That's on you. Kennedy, please. This wedding is my dream. It's your dream? Not Noah's? Not mine. Yours. Silence. Mrs. Reeves, I need you to understand something. If Noah and I ever get married, and that's a big if right now, we will plan it ourselves. We will choose our own venue, our own date, our own everything. You will not be planning anything. Are we clear? But I'm his mother, and I'm an adult woman who gets to make decisions about my own life, including whether and when I get married. Are we clear? This is ridiculous. Noah, tell her. I realized she wasn't alone. Noah was there on speakerphone with her. Noah, you're there? Kennedy, just listen. No, you listen. Your mother planned a $30,000 wedding without asking us. She invited 150 people. She booked vendors. All of this behind my back. And instead of being horrified, instead of setting boundaries, you're sitting there with her trying to convince me to go along with it. I just think we shouldn't waste all that money. So you think we should get married in 6 weeks because your mom spent money without permission? I think we should talk about this like adults. I am talking about it like an adult. I'm saying no. I'm saying this is crazy. I'm saying I will not marry someone who can't stand up to his mother about literally planning his wedding without his knowledge. Kennedy. I hung up. Then I blocked both their numbers. My roommate Jade came out of her bedroom, coffee in hand. What was that about? Noah's mom planned our entire wedding without telling us. Jade choked on her coffee. What? I showed her the invoice. Explained everything. By the end, she looked as horrified as I felt. That's psychotic. Right. And Noah knew? Apparently. And said nothing. So what are you going to do? I took a breath. I think I'm going to break up with him. Because of the wedding thing? Because he let his mother plan my life and didn't think that was a problem worth mentioning. If he can't set boundaries with her now, what happens if we actually do get married? She plans where we live, how we raise kids, what careers we have. That's fair. Is it weird that I'm more angry at him than her? No. She's unhinged, but she's not your responsibility. Was your boyfriend. He should have protected you from this. She was right. Noah showed up at my apartment that evening. I'd been expecting it. Can we talk? He asked through the door. 5 minutes. I let him in. He looked exhausted, devastated, desperate. I'm sorry, he said immediately. You're right. I should have stopped her. I should have told you. I was a coward and I'm sorry. Okay. That's it. What do you want me to say, Noah? I want you to say you forgive me. That we can work through this. Can we? Because this isn't just about the wedding. This is about you being unable to set boundaries with your mother. This is about you valuing her feelings over mine. This is about you thinking it was okay to let her plan my life because it was easier than confronting her. I'll do better. You're 32 years old. If you haven't figured out how to tell your mother no by now, I don't think you will. That's not fair. Noah, your mother spent $30,000 planning a wedding for 2 people who aren't engaged. Instead of being horrified, instead of immediately shutting it down and apologizing to me, you tried to convince me to go along with it. That tells me everything I need to know about where your priorities are. So that's it? We're done. I think we are. He looked like I'd slapped him. Kennedy, please. I love you. I love you too. But I won't marry someone who can't stand up for me, who can't protect me from his mother's delusions, who thinks planning my wedding without my consent is just enthusiasm. I'll go to therapy. I'll work on setting boundaries. That's great. You should do that. But not for me. For yourself. For your next relationship. Because I can't be with someone who needs to learn basic boundaries about letting his mother control his life. Tears were running down his face now. This isn't how this was supposed to go. No, it wasn't. But your mother made that decision when she booked a venue without asking. And you made that decision when you didn't stop her. He left without another word. 2 weeks later, I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Kennedy, it's Jennifer from Riverside Estate. I wanted to let you know that Mrs. Reeves tried to transfer the booking to a different couple. Her son and a woman named Amanda. Noah has a new girlfriend? Apparently. But I wanted to check with you first. Are you definitely not getting married on October 14th? Definitely not. Then I'll approve the transfer. I just wanted to make sure, given the circumstances. Wait, she's transferring the whole wedding? The one she planned for me and Noah. Yes. Same flowers, same menu, everything. Just different bride. I laughed. Actually laughed. Go ahead and approve it. I hope Amanda knows what she's getting into. Between you and me? She seemed very confused when Mrs. Reeves showed her the wedding binders. We hung up, and I felt the last piece of attachment to Noah fade away. His mother was already planning his next wedding, with a woman he'd been dating for 2 weeks. And the saddest part? He was probably going to let her. I'm 31 now. Single. Living with Jade in a great apartment in Austin. Working as a graphic designer. Living my life on my terms. And I've never been more grateful that I canceled a wedding I never agreed to. Some people say I overreacted. That I should have given Noah another chance. But I learned something important that day. You don't marry someone. You marry their family. And their boundaries, or lack thereof, become your problem. Noah's mother planned my wedding without asking. I canceled it without asking. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Because my life is mine to plan. And nobody gets to decide my future but me. Not even for $30,000. Especially not for $30,000.